buttercup, you're a Barbie doll. Show them all what I'm made of. Strut down the hall, won't stop till I get enough.
All right, let's jump into another deep dive. We got a listener request to break down this Chelsea match. And this one's got a lot to unpack. Chelsea facing off against Shamrock Rovers in the UEFA Conference League.
Interesting choice.
Yeah, right. But here's the thing. Going into this match, Chelsea had a perfect record. Can you believe that? 6 games played, 6 wins. So, I mean, the big question is, how do they keep that momentum going? What does this match tell us about them? I'm really curious to hear your take on this one.
Well, I think it's important to consider the context here. Chelsea had already secured their spot in the last 16 even before this match kicked off.
Oh, that's right. So maybe not as much pressure as a must-win situation.
Exactly. So you could see this match as a chance for the coach to experiment a bit, to see what some of the maybe less experienced players could do.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got a chilly night at Stamford Bridge, dedicated fans bundled up in the stands, and Chelsea sends out a lineup that definitely raised some eyebrows.
Oh.
How so? Well, Marc Guiu and Noni Madueke were the only players starting again after their Premier League win. You know, the one against Brentford. What's your read on that? I think the coach was resting some key players, or was there something else going on?
Yeah, I think there's a definite strategy at play here. You know, the Conference League is relatively new, right?
Yeah, right.
And for a club like Chelsea, with their ambitions, it's a chance to test different formations, maybe give valuable experience to players who don't always get a lot of game time in the Premier League.
Yeah, like a proving ground almost.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, this match also marked a big moment for a young defender, Harrison Murray Campbell, his senior debut. And Axel Disasi was captaining the squad. So you've got that blend of, veteran leadership and some fresh talent, which is always cool to see.
Huh?
So what were your first impressions once the whistle blew and they got going?
Well, initially it was kind of a back and forth. Chelsea controlled most of the possession, as you'd expect.
Sure.
But Shamrock Rovers, they weren't just rolling over.
They put up a fight.
Oh, yeah. They were playing some tenacious defense, making it tough for Chelsea to break through.
And then, you won't believe this, Shamrock Rovers almost took the lead. Remember Johnny Kenny?
Kenny, yeah, the Conference League's joint top scorer.
That's the one. He had a clear shot on goal, and he missed. Can you imagine if that had gone in?
It definitely would have shaken things up a bit.
Talk about an early twist. But it wasn't just Shamrock Rovers who had chances. We also saw Noni Madueke miss a volley early on. It felt like everyone in the stadium was just waiting for those goals to start coming.
Yeah, you could feel the anticipation building.
And then it happened. But, oh man, the first goal, you just have to hear this. A Shamrock Rovers defender tries to head the ball back to his goalkeeper, but I don't know what happened. Maybe the pressure from Tyreek George got to him, but the header goes totally off course.
A misplaced pass, those can be deadly.
Oh, for sure. And it left an open goal for Marc Guiu.
A gift.
A total gift, right?
Classic example of how one defensive error can change the whole feel of a match.
No kidding.
But what's even crazier is that Shamrock Rovers managed to tie it up almost immediately after from a corner pick.
Yeah, I was like, wait, what just happened? 1 minute you're celebrating, the next you're wondering if Chelsea might actually have a real challenge on their hands.
It certainly injected some drama into the match.
For sure. But Chelsea didn't let that equalizer phase them for long. They bounced right back and took the lead again, and guess who was right in the thick of it?
Let me guess, Guiu.
Guiu, you got it. Another defensive blunder by Shamrock Rovers, a back pass that went awry, and Guiu pounced on it. Just calmly rounded the keeper and slotted the ball home for his second goal.
This guy's got a nose for the goal, doesn't he?
He was in the right place at the right time, that's for sure. And he almost had a hat-trick just minutes later. But a defender cleared the ball off the line. It felt like it was only a matter of time, though.
Well, he does seem to have a knack for being in the right spot at the right time.
And sure enough, it happened. A beautiful cross from Noni Madueke. And Guiu completed his hat-trick with a header. What a moment for him, especially in a match where he was really given a chance to shine.
A first-ever hat trick. That's got to feel pretty special.
Absolutely. But before we get too carried away with Guiu's performance, we can't forget about the other goal scorer in that first half, right?
Oh, right. Dewsbury Hall, he had a great goal, too. Showed off what Chelsea's midfield can do.
Exactly. It wasn't just a lucky strike either. It was a well-taken goal, a clever run, perfect timing, and a precise finish. So at that point, it's 3-1 to Chelsea. Guiu's got his hat trick, and it feels like they're in complete control. What was a vibe like as the second half started? Did they keep the pressure on, or did they ease up a bit?
It felt like the energy shifted a little, The intensity dropped a bit, which is understandable, I guess. But they didn't completely let up. They still created chances.
Yeah, they weren't just sitting back and defending their lead. And we got to see that beautiful team goal that was finished off by Marc Guiu.
Oh, yeah, that was a beauty.
A really fluid passing sequence sliced right through Shamrock Rovers' defense, leaving Cucurella with an easy tap-in.
That goal was a real testament to the tactical awareness and the technical skills of these Chelsea players. They were patient, waited for the opening, and the final pass from Nkunku was just perfect.
Speaking of Nkunku, he and João Felix both came on in the second half. Did you notice any tactical shifts when they were subbed in?
Well, the formation didn't really change, but it definitely added a different dimension to Chelsea's attack. Nkunku, with his creativity and dribbling, he brought a bit more unpredictability,
Yeah, keeping the opponent guessing.
In Felix, he was a good focal point up front, holding the ball up well, linking up with his teammates.
So it wasn't just about giving those guys some minutes. It was about keeping the pressure on, trying different things.
Exactly. And it really highlights the depth of this Chelsea squad. They can bring on players of that quality and still maintain that high level of play.
Now, we can't forget about another substitution that I think a lot of fans were excited about. Harrison Murray-Campbell's debut. What was your take on his performance?
It's always tough to judge a player based on a short appearance, especially in a match that's already decided. But, I saw composure, a willingness to get involved, didn't shy away from the challenge, made some good passes, looked comfortable out there.
It must be a bit surreal for a young player, making their debut at Stamford Bridge with all those talented players around them.
Moments like that can be huge for a young player's development, right? It's not just about the minutes on the pitch. It's the whole experience, learning from the veterans.
Soaking it all in.
And hey, he made his debut in a match where his teammates scored a hat trick. Not a bad story to tell.
Not bad at all. And speaking of those experienced players, I thought Cucurella had a really strong game. Solid defensively, as always, but he also got forward and contributed to the attack, which led to that goal.
Yeah, Cucurella's versatility is so valuable. He can play in different positions, solid defensively, and he popped up in dangerous areas in the attack. It's no wonder he's become such a key part of this team.
We talked about Shamrock Rovers putting up a fight, but they did make some big errors that led to those Chelsea goals. Do you think those were more a reflection of their weaknesses, or was it Chelsea's pressure forcing those mistakes?
It's probably a bit of both. Chelsea's pressing style, hounding the ball carrier, definitely played a part. But Shamrock Rovers could have been better with their decision-making, stayed calmer under pressure.
So it's about Chelsea's system, but also individual brilliance from their attackers.
Exactly. And that's a sign of a top team. It's not just about moments of individual brilliance. It's about the collective effort.
Now, I'm curious, what did you make of Tyreek George's performance when he came on? He was really trying to get his first senior goal.
He put in the work, that's for sure. Tried to take on defenders, created some dangerous moments.
So even though he didn't score, it was a positive performance, showed he can handle playing at this level.
Definitely. And those are the kinds of experiences that help young players grow.
All right, so let's zoom out a bit. Look at the big picture here. What are your main takeaways from this match? What does it tell us about Chelsea's form and their trajectory this season?
It's another win, extends their perfect record in the Conference League. But what stood out to me was the confidence, the way they were moving the ball.
It did seem effortless at times.
They dominated possession, creative in attack, and clinical in front of goal.
It seems like they're starting to click, really starting to gel as a unit.
It's exciting to see, especially with the Premier League challenges ahead. And those upcoming Premier League matches are going to be a real test, right? I mean, Everton and Fulham, those are not easy teams to beat.
Yeah, they're going to be facing tougher competition than Shamrock Rovers, that's for sure.
Exactly. Those matches will be a good indicator of where Chelsea really stands. Can they dominate against teams that are, more defensively solid, more physical? That's what we'll be watching for.
It's exciting to see what they can do, right? I mean, this Chelsea team, they have the potential. Who knows what they can achieve this season?
They could really make a run for it. I'm definitely going to be keeping a close eye on them.
Well, I know our listener who sent in this match report will be too. So before we wrap up, what's the one thing you want them to take away from our analysis? What's the big takeaway?
I think it's important to remember this wasn't just a win, it was a statement. They're building for the future, investing in young talent, but still competing at the highest level. It's a model for success.
A model other clubs should be paying attention to.
Absolutely.
Well, I've loved diving deep into this match with you. As always, a big thanks to our listener for sharing this report. It's your passion for the game that makes these deep dives so rewarding. Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep those match reports coming.
Sound the alarm. I'm coming up. We'll have a ball. I'm sweet like a buttercup. You're Bobby doll. Show them all what I'm made of. Strut down the hall. Won't stop till I get enough.